David Bruce, Jim Larsen, and today we're talking about a book. Actually, this book, Who's Afraid of Postmodernism? Wasn't there Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Virginia Woolf.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's a takeoff on that.
I think so.
Yeah, by James K.A. Smith. And this is a subject that has really consumed religious types, you know, trying to understand the so-called postmodern era, and how can you be a spiritual person, a Christian, or a person of faith in this new time, new era. You've heard a lot about it, haven't you?
Sure, but let's say if somebody asks you, what does that mean? Postmodern. I mean, it is a question I think a lot of people.
Yeah, what is postmodern? Postmodern comes after the modern age. The modern age was where science and education was seen as the cure-all of everything that is wrong with our culture. And indeed, science and education can never be dismissed. They are very, very important. But they weren't the cure or the be-end and end-all. And we learned that because here we had this highly educated Germany, great modern culture, and yet they use science and education to commit genocide of Jews and gays and Christians, etc., in the mentally retarded in Auschwitz and things like that. And then we also learned that our education gave us the atomic bomb, which did a lot of destruction at the hands of the Americans, dropping the 2 bombs there in Japan. And so...
Well, Dave, I think about that movement back in the, what would you call it, the hippie days.
Yeah.
There was
that was a reaction against the modern era.
Also.
Yeah, so that's post, and actually the word postmodern originated in 1970, and if I would make an observation, and I'm going to, and you're kind of stuck with me doing it, I mean, you have no choice, you got to listen. You know, the word was coined in 1970s, but isn't it interesting that it isn't until the next century, over 30 years later, that the church suddenly discovers postmodern. As a matter of fact, if I might venture something, I just would like to say this. I think we're actually beyond the postmodern. Postmodern was deconstructing modernism. And now I think we're in a creative era where we you know, into iPods and constructing our own CDs, as it were. We have 1,000 channels on our TV, and we select what we're going to watch. We are in the process of creating. Computers can do everything.
Well, there was a time when we thought the young people, the next wave of young people, were all going to be couch potatoes because they were all going to be watching television.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Wrong. Yeah. Wrong.
They don't want to. It seems like part of it, they don't want to go with canned answers, canned stories. They want to help tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
They want to participate.
Well, getting back to the book, Who's Afraid of Postmodernism? If you're not acquainted with that and the shift in the culture, this would be a good book for you to get going on. It's a good intro. It'll change your thinking. It'll get you going. And, you know, maybe you aren't like me where you want to go one step beyond postmodernism yet because you're not even into the postmodern thing. But this book will get you going. And there's a number of others, too, just like it. But this one's it's an easy read. It's not too thick, and you could read it on a Saturday afternoon and sound really good at church or your fellowship when you get there about this subject. Anyways.
Who's Afraid of
Postmodernism?
J.K.A. Smith.
Baker Academic.